Alright everybody, welcome to week 8. I'm going to walk you through this week's module and the resources as well as the assignments. So this week on your to-do list, you have a couple of readings. They all have to do with earth science, just because I want you to understand the foundations of earth science and what the areas of earth science are. And there are 4 main areas of earth science that I want you to explore. I have a quick study video on those 4 main areas, a discussion that I will pop in here in just a moment, and then you have 2 assignments to complete this week. And the first one is the Life Science Curriculum Notebook page. And this is a new assignment, and you will do 3 of these. You'll do 1 curriculum notebook page for life science, 1 for earth science, and 1 for physical science. You have already completed your life science short math activity and your life science activity. But let's take a look at this life science curriculum notebook page. And so all this really is putting together the skills that you have learned as you've been creating the small group lessons. And so here is the template for this assignment. You're going to select a topic, and remember, this is life science, not life science, but your topic needs to be something that is appropriate for children between the ages of 1 and age 8. So pick a topic that a child could have hands-on experiences with on a regular basis. And if you said plants, I will say plants is too broad of a topic, narrow it down. Maybe you say sunflowers or apples or bean sprouts, but you pick something that is simple, that is easy to access and have hands-on experiences with, and that is relevant to the lives of young children. And so for life science, you could think about plants, animals, things that are living, things that grow. And so make sure that it's narrow. If you just said animals, I'm going to say, well, what animal? And you might say, oh, okay, guinea pigs, right? Or goldfish. But something you can have concrete experiences with. Then you'll put your name. This is concepts. I want you to remember that concepts answer research questions. This is science. This is not math yet. This is science. So you'll have to develop 5 research questions about your topic. We did this in curriculum development. If you remember, we practiced creating research questions. Let's say that our topic is pumpkins. Now, nobody can use pumpkins. We might say pumpkins. And think about questions that children might ask about pumpkins. And so maybe they ask, what do we use pumpkins for? Maybe they even ask, how do pumpkins grow? Maybe they say, what is inside a pumpkin? Maybe they even say, do pumpkins float? Maybe they might even say, how many types of pumpkins are there? Who eats pumpkins? What can you make from pumpkin? See where I'm going with this? Now, one of these is a plant. One of these questions is not appropriate. And I want you to take a minute and try to identify which one it is. So my questions were, what do we use pumpkins for? How do pumpkins grow? What is inside a pumpkin? Do pumpkins float? How many types of pumpkins are there? Who eats pumpkins? What can you make from pumpkins? So all of these questions have answers that can be researched, that you can investigate, yada yada. The one question that is going to be hard to answer and have hands-on experiences with is, how many types of pumpkins are there? There's a lot of variety of pumpkins. You can't possibly bring every single variety of pumpkin into the classroom. You might be able to bring 3 types of pumpkins. Maybe a more relative question is, What colors are are there different colors of pumpkins? You can answer this easier and find examples readily available at your supermarket, at the pumpkin patch, at your farmer's stand, but something that you can actually experience. The concepts that you have to list, see it says at least 5, the concepts are the answers to these research questions. What do we use pumpkin for? Pumpkins are used as decoration, for cooking food, and for feeding animals. You want this to be as scientific as possible. That was the easy answer, right? But do your research. How do pumpkins grow? Pumpkin seeds are typically planted during the months of June the seeds need ample water, sun, and soil. There. What is inside a pumpkin? You would answer that. Do pumpkins float? You would say yes, pumpkins float. Because, and then answer why. Because that's what you're going to investigate, is the why. What are the different colors of pumpkins? So you might say some varieties, like are orange, some are red, and list the type, and some are green. Did you know that there's even a blue pumpkin? There is. We had one of our students bring a blue pumpkin in last year during math and science. How many types of pumpkins are there? Stay away from that type of question. That's really hard to research and find answers for, and you can't have a tangible experience with that. You can answer who eats pumpkins. Humans eat pumpkins. What can you make from pumpkin? Many things you would answer. You would answer accurately. You can use pumpkin to make pies, cookies, breads, whatever, right? So be accurate. So that's what I want you to do for concepts. Remember that your concepts for science have to answer a research question. Math is different. Math uses its own concepts, and I will get to that when we scroll down here. So that's the first part of this sheet. Now you're going to list 10 concrete props. For pumpkins, you're going to bring in pumpkins, right? Pumpkin carving tools. Maybe even if you have some access to pumpkin harvesting tools. And then you have to list at least 10 items that relate to pumpkins that are the real thing. No representation. You cannot list books here. You cannot list pictures. This has to be 100% related to pumpkins and what you're going to teach up here. So remember, you can use any materials that are related to your concept list. Then you get to this. This is not familiar. This is not new. This is familiar. You're writing a math activity related for pumpkins. So your topic is pumpkins. And then you would put your suggested age. I would say, preschool or kindergarten. You choose. Your math strand. All right, let's just be clear here. There was some confusion the last time you did a math activity. This sheet is in the modules. This should not be new to you. The math strands are numbers and operations, algebra, geometry, measurement, data analysis, and probability. The concepts for math are these numerical items. So say that we wanted to count pumpkin seeds, right? We might say, let's see, to count objects rationally, one number is attached to each object. I'm going to go ahead and copy that, and I'm going to go back to my document, and I'm going to paste that here in the concept. And my strand was numbers and operations. And then I would write a prompt. How many seeds did you count? Or can you count your seeds? And then you would list your vocabulary. I want you to do 3, just like you do on your other short planning sheets. List your materials. You'll need a pumpkin, the carving tools, scooping tools. That's it. And then your activity objective. The children will carve a pumpkin, remove the seeds, and count seeds that they find. There. Then you're going to do a science activity. So this needs to relate back to one of your concepts. Your science activity might be maybe it's, do pumpkins float? So scroll back down. Science activity for pumpkins. Suggested age, pre-K. You can choose an age group if you want this to be simpler. You could do toddlers. If you want it to be more complex, you could do school age. The science concept, we said, the research question was, do pumpkins float? Pumpkins are hollow, and the air trapped inside makes them float when dropped in water. It needs to be scientific. It has to be accurate. It has to be from your concept page. The research question was, do pumpkins float? Then you would do your science vocabulary. Please pick 3. Right? And then your materials. You would need pumpkins, a large tub, water. That's it. And then, what are the children going to do? This is your activity objective. The children will, right? Let me get rid of some space here. The children will drop. Well, let's add some math to this. I'm okay if you want to add some math to this. The children will guess or make predictions of whether, pumpkins sink or float. Then the children will drop pumpkins into a large tub with water and document their findings. There we go. There's activity objective. And then the next thing is to select your Piagetian task. Is this classification, seriation, temporal relations, or spatial? You might say classification because something either floats or it doesn't. And the attributes of that object are what causes it to sink or float. So you might highlight classification. And that is the curriculum notebook page. So again, you're going to do, put your name, your topic. This is life science. Put your topic. Your concepts have to be answers to research questions. So go ahead and type your research question first, then answer it. Do at least 5. I am giving you points for each one that is viable. So if you have 5 and only 2 of them are good, you're only going to get 2 points. So if you do 10 and 5 of those are viable or more, you're going to get full points for this section. So the more research questions and concepts you list here, the better. And then you're going to write your props. Remember, you need at least 10. I'm counting those. So make sure that they're 10 concrete objects that relate to your topic. And then you're creating a math activity and a science activity. And this is the curriculum notebook page. This first one is for life science. Next week you will do one for earth science, and then in week 10 you will do one for physical science. All right, please, please, please do let me know if you have any questions.